Okay, I am jumping into this here a little bit earlier than I might have been ready for, but that's okay. That's how I do it best. It's like pulling off a band-aid. Like you have to go one, you have to count 1, 2, and then before you say 3, you say like on the count of 3, 1, 2, and then before you say 3, rip the band-aid off. I just kind of have to get into these. I mean, I don't know what's been my deal lately with doing this show, but it's almost like the pressure of just having everything so decently set up for myself is, I think, kind of what it has to do with. And plus, I have to get out more. I have to get out more often. I had a pretty good time this last weekend. All in seemingly the right timing. I always seem to get out, I hit the city, and go bounce around and meet people and do this stuff. But having this show premiere and air regularly and on time and on schedule is super important, and I need to make sure that it happens. It's just important to be that way before any of the true following for this show happens. It's the previous incarnation of the show. I mean, nobody knows that it's still alive in a different form now. It's like the show was something, and now it is still alive under the same name, but it's no longer just a podcast. Now it is the parent of the whole thing. Now it runs this show, it runs all music that I make, it runs everything. So it doesn't have it doesn't have, like, I don't have to lament over it or how things were or anything like that. Anyway, that is a total side banter for like where we're gonna get into for this episode here, for episode 22. I think I'm gonna do a couple more updates from just what I have written down. Just updates with me, and this might even be just a quick episode for you guys. Let's get into it. Vault of Doom episode 22. Ugh. Alright, so the updates that I'm going to do on these, I'm going to get a little bit more into actual detail with some of the upcoming stuff. I mentioned vaguely some of the upcoming stuff that I have, such as my Twitch premiere, the musical project that I have that's going to have a YouTube premiere, and then just whatever it is that's going on in open mic. I mean, I'm not sure that I'm gonna have to be able to get any of that on video or do live streams. I'm gonna just do, I think, even like an Instagram live stream, and then it's it's like I don't know how my live stream is set up on Instagram, where it's like available for 24 hours or 2 weeks or something. Or 30 days. I think that actual live streams for my Instagram actually stay on my feed or something like that. But honestly, I'm not even really interested in doing any kind of streaming of anything on at open mic. Everything that I do at open mic, it's just going to be like, well, here's me doing my songs. I mean, that's it, so it's like no big deal, and I might be able to remember it a little better if I don't have the camera in my face all the time or something like that. I don't know, but all that aside, the favorite riffs episode I did mention, that's to go on the Music Project's YouTube channel premiere as a short, or it's literally like a 1 minute. It's my favorite guitar riffs in a 1 minute video, and then the Twitch premiere has the Irish folk music in my style and my versions and the way that I want to do them, And then other stuff that's on the Twitch stream is discographies, where I have a few bands that I'm not going to mention. I'll keep it a surprise and a mystery for right now, as these should be up and available on my Twitch that you can find on my link tree in the show notes. There's a few bands that I know their entire discography. Guitar riffs, vocals, what have you, all of it. So, whatever, I mean, this is just like, I'll be busy all summer with just those two things on the Twitch premiere. I'll be busy all summer with whenever I want to start premiering season 3 of this show, let alone finish it, but it needs 24 episodes. Every season needs 24 episodes. I got through the first 2 seasons, it was 12. Season 3 needs to have 24 episodes to complete. You can have a really good time finding what I already have out there. It seems like a lot. It might be a lot of pressure. I might procrastinate. I'm the king of procrastinating. I know that much. But what I already have out there on the channels, this podcast channel on YouTube, is not available on Spotify. These are both exclusive to each other. Everything on Spotify is exclusive to Spotify. It can't be found anywhere else until I have explored the other podcast platforms and I found one that I'm interested in. And the YouTube is all, these are, is poor audio quality. The audio quality is far more poor than what can be found here in Spotify, but it's just more in depth in terms of that you have the video navigation screen where you can see me navigating through stuff and what I'm looking at, what I'm doing. Excuse me. And that's all that I have out there for right now. I haven't even talked about the movie because I'm not so sure that I even want to release it. Part of me doesn't even want to release the movie. It wants to act like it doesn't even exist. Part of me knows that before I release it, I need to have its contrast, where I have something a little more serious and a little more better. I don't know, but the thing needs to go out. I need to put that finishing, that final little icing on the cake, and then release it. But all that said, I still have money issues getting in the way of that, and then me not wanting, not necessarily even money issues, just me not wanting to spend the money to have the channel host a 4-hour-long feature film of mine, where that's what's required to make it happen. So the specific details about that, before I get into the specific details about these updates, is you can't upload more than a 20-minute video on YouTube without verifying a phone number, and I'm not giving any kind of interest in sharing that information with YouTube until I'm ready. So it's hard to say when it happens, but knowing me, it'll always happen perfectly and work out all at the same time, happen all, it's right, whatever the hell. But it's not quite that unfortunate, but still is kind of unfortunate that all you have to see in terms of what content I have available right now is whatever podcasts are available on the official YouTube podcast page. And there's at least 20 videos on there, so have fun with that and enjoy. Oh, other than that, other stuff that's coming up is like I said, those 3. I think it's 3. Those 3 bands' entire discographies. One of the bands, I'm gonna have to do like a whole separate episode on this, where the comparison, I need to do a comparison on my abilities of each album, where I have sat by myself, I've actually recorded some videos of me doing guitar playthroughs of the entire album, full album playthroughs on the guitar with some of these albums, and uploaded them and then took them down afterwards based on poor lighting, poor audio, and just things not being right. Like, I know how this stuff is supposed to look. I know how this stuff is supposed to sound. And if it's not up to par to my standards, after having uploaded it first, I have to take it down. So I need to do like a whole podcast on specifically what's, my abilities on each album. It just specifically my abilities, my skill level, like where my skill level on this album is better than this one, and then go over it. And that's a good place to start a forum, and good place for us, me, the host, and you, the listener, to start a conversation on this stuff, because that's what I'm interested in talking about. I mean, not that I'm like super megalomaniac and I'm like, oh, I'm so good at this and I'm so good at it. I'm so good at this and I'm gooby, so good at this. Like, I'm not interested in being a megalomaniac or any of that stuff. It's just that the discussion on the skill level with experienced or at least active good musicians and guitarists is going to help me out in the long run, in terms of just the give and take of info, the feedback. I mean, all of it. I need it. So, I have written here under that, I have guitar, vocals, drums, and everything else. So that would be, I'm thinking, and you might be thinking too, oh, I'm just talking about guitar, or oh, I'm just talking about drums or something. No, I'm talking about the guitar, doing a whole stream on Twitch. All this has to go down on Twitch, I can tell you that much, if you're interested in continuing following me. It has to go down on Twitch, and there'd be like one all guitar, one that's all vocals, one that's all drums, and then everything else would be, the keys, and any synth that's gonna be involved. Sometimes there's wind instruments, and of course the orchestral elements. That's for me to not even talk about that. That's like truly a huge disservice to myself. The orchestral elements involved in it specifically, it's really only one of the bands that are doing all the discography of that even contains any orchestral elements. But opening the door for that is super important, and that there's just going to be so much to do there. There's a lot to do. A whole hell of a lot to do there in terms of orchestral elements. All my orchestral stuff will obviously be synth and whatever's available on my software, but I don't have a freaking orchestral band in my back pocket where I can just have like a genuine. I can always look into that, but just opening the door is the most important part, and I'm doing it right here, right now. My other notes underneath that I have written no longer apply, other than giving you a quick update on another album review. And I didn't write down the name of it, but it's the latest. It might not, in fact, there might be a reason for that, because it might not be the latest. It was what was supposed to be an album review. I think I have what it is. I wrote a band name down here I wanted to do an album review for. And that's hopefully why you might like this show a little bit, because I make errors, I make mistakes. I'm still human, okay? So I wrote the band name down, and then I listened to the album, loved the hell out of it, but it was out of order. It wasn't the most recent one. So I don't think I wrote the name down, and I think that the whole episode is basically complete now, because there's just two other things that I wrote under there that no longer apply. My guitar is no longer under repair, basically. Guitar's ready to rock. And then the Vultures video is no longer available at all. I have to remake the whole entire thing. As far as that goes, I'm glad about it, actually, because as usual, when you have to redo things, start out from scratch, it just turns out better every time. And that's a whole can of worms. That's a whole nother can of worms. I don't even want to get into that, as I am concluding the whole season of the show right now, and I have to keep moving along here. So, with that, friends, I bid you adieu, and make sure that you do all your feedbacks and support and listen to my show some more, as it is me, Mickey Gemini, with the Vault of Doom podcast, metal music, metal news, metal podcast. Let it roar.